Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Thank you. And, this is one statement which I say to everybody who works with me. So when I sent out this thing today, so many people were like, sent it back to me. Everything is in perfect divine order under, under quotes. Because usually when one has no answer, it's like, okay, it's okay. Everything is in perfect divine order, and I know that I use that a lot of times. So today, a lot of people got back to me saying that, yeah, everything is in perfect divine order. So let's talk about it today.
Yeah. I was actually researching on this, the phrase everything is in divine order, and we often have been using it. And people overall in general also have been using it very, very casually as well. So, but the origin of this happened in the Elizabethan era in 1558 to 1603. And that time it was more to do with, birth ranking because that was a colonial rule and so on and so forth. But of course, over the centuries, as we understand, as the earth changed its energies and people have had an experience. So now the entire thing that we all know as a mantra, all your students actually understand that, that everything is in the perfect divine order. Further to this, there are two school of thoughts, and I'm sure within our group also there would be people thinking one of them, either at least that there are a set of people who, despite doing everything in life, can't really change the course of the challenges that they feel. There is something that they feel that's always hanging like a sword on their head, and possibly they don't even think that they've done anything wrong, or they can't understand or to fix it. There are second people who believe in the law of attraction, and they say that anything and everything that is happening in our lives is what our thoughts manifested it, what we created it, and so on and so forth. Going by this, according to you, what is the understanding of this thing? Everything is in divine order, because people have
Yeah.
different understanding to this whole.
So actually, Vinita, when I also like put it out and it just, like how now it just comes out spontaneously. We had 3, 4 like so-called serious topics and this just popped up and I said, okay, let's just speak about this when we say everything is in perfect divine order. And for me, I believe this 100%, 100%. So what came to me was two things, and I'm happy for whatever you shared because I didn't know about this research. So thank you for sharing that. For me, there are two things in this. One is when we talk about the divine, the word divine, what does it mean? And I think through this lockdown, as I've always been saying, one of my biggest teachings, biggest learnings has been that there is divinity in everything, isn't it? Whatever we look at, a piece of stone, a blade of grass, a flower, a leaf, a tree, even a a carton of rubbish. It is, it is like it's a blessing that garbage is being out going out of your home, and there's a box actually which can hold it so that it doesn't make your home smelly or messy in that way, isn't it? So one is that there is divinity in everything, and it's like you you have not designed these flowers. We have not thought that, okay, this flower should have 5 petals, this tree should grow this way, the leaf of this tree should be round, the leaf of this tree should be oblong, or this is how water should flow, this should be the color of the sky. Have we decided these things? There's a higher power that has sort of decided these things, and that is the divine order. Does anything seem out of proportion? In fact, when we get a bunch of flowers in our house and we're trying to arrange them, it takes us a while to put one forward, and but when you look at them in a just growing wild, they look so beautiful, don't they? They just feel as if it's just fit for that particular place or that particular, where they are sort of pasted right now. That bush looks so beautiful and the flowers are just growing wild out of it, but it has such a beautiful balance, it has such a beautiful look. Any tree you look at, even if it is a falling stooping tree, there'll be some divinity in it and it'll just look just wow. I mean, you have to have a creative eye, and I can surely say that I'm not such a creative person, and if I can see that, I'm sure we all can see that. So firstly, when we look at nature, it makes it very clear that isn't everything in perfect divine order? Even when we look at all the elements of nature, air, water, earth, I mean, everything is like so beautifully synced, and everything is made up of those things, isn't it? Everything is just made up of those things. So it is actually all just so beautiful and perfect. And actually, whenever we as humans have tried to cause a little imperfection due to our activities, trying to do excess construction or whatever our human activities, cutting down trees and all. That's when the divine order has been sort of, imbalanced. And that's why we feel all these calamities, earthquakes, isn't it? We even studied that when that balance. So actually, when you look at it in a very raw way, even in nature, everything teaches us that everything is in perfect divine order, doesn't it? Even the fact, like we've been joking about this in our prayer meets, that there's a particular plant which is very stingy. So it's called a bichu booty. It's a bichu booty which grows very wild. But always next to a bichu booty, there is a plant of spinach which is like an antidote for that. So you'll always find that order also there. Similarly, if you're going through a little low phase or one door closes in your life, you'll see that there'll be something else that will come out. Sooner or later, you'll understand that. Isn't it? Isn't it always like that? I mean, see the 4 seasons of the year. There's winter, there's summer, there's spring, there's autumn. So it's all a balance. It's not that it's just summer all along. I mean, we are very fortunate. We're in that part of the world where we experience all the different seasons and all the different weathers, isn't it? It'll be cloudy one day, it's raining the other day. So it sort of even balances the whole thing. The universe knows it all. And yes, when we really literally bring it down to ourselves, then I would say that at that moment, and like you asked, Vinita, when we are going through an extremely, rough time, or we are going through a crisis, we say, I mean, how is this divine order, God? Is this what you really wanted us to go through? Is this how we wanted to live our lives? No, we didn't. It doesn't seem divine order to this mind. Right? But if that is how it is meant to be, it's not if. Actually, that is just how it's meant to be. And as much as you try to analyze it or understand it or rationalize it, it's only temporary band-aids, as I say, to the mind. It's not something which lasts, isn't it? And those so-called rough times or challenges that we go through in life, that's the only time when we actually question the divine order. When we are too happy, we receive we get a lottery and suddenly we are flooded with something. We never ask, this is like not divine order, yeah? God, why have you done this to me? We accept it very openly and thinking, yeah, we fully deserve it. So why is it in times of low that we feel that, no, this is not what I should be getting. This is not God's order. But actually it is. So accept everything. When we say that the divine is giving you everything, or God is giving you everything, now how he is giving it, how much is being given, when it is being given, all those are not in our control, isn't it? That surrender has to be there, because the actual say profit and loss or whatever is being calculated up there, and then it comes down for us to grow, to understand. So take everything as a divine blessing, because you have not created that misery and you have not created that abundance, isn't it? You might say, yeah, I worked very hard and that's why I'm very rich today. But yeah, there's a bigger force that is allowing you to work hard, and there's a bigger force that is giving you the work and the abundance, isn't it? So when you accept that as divine order, accept the lows also as divine order. And the moment we actually say that this is also being given to us by the divine, the whole, our acceptance, that energy of acceptance totally changes. The mind will fight. We'll have arguments that, no, this is not how it is meant to be. When you look at people begging on the road, when you look at people suffering, they're like out there in the cold, they don't have clothes. So many things we can look at and say that this doesn't seem to be fair. But that is only looking at it from a very, very narrow lens. On the face of it, yes, it is not fair. I fully agree. The suffering, the misery is definitely torturous. There is no denial in that. But at the end of the day, what can you really do about it? You can either fight it, struggle with it, and make it a deeper suffering, or you can be in a deeper acceptance and say, God, give me the strength to go through this, because this is also something that you have given. And actually, only that divine can give you the strength. Nobody else can give you the strength. So the moment we come into that acceptance, and the statement makes it very accessible or believable, because When we accept those things which are good as God's blessings, we have to understand that these two are God's blessings in whichever way they might be. And it is very, I mean, there is suffering, there is misery, there is struggle. We can't deny that. But those are just phases that we are going through, isn't it? Let's hear from you all.
I have one connected question to that.
Please go ahead.
At this point in time, when we see some people, possibly we know them inside out, or we think we know them inside out, and things coming to them is more smooth than what you going through, or some people. So when we comes in terms of deserving, but again, if we say we are nobody to decide who deserves what, but then it's very difficult to understand the karmic balance also. Where is it coming from, and where do we stand in terms of law of attraction, or are we playing a role in that, or it is our past life? I'm just trying to connect the dots in my head, actually.
So actually it's everything. Actually it is everything, and everything and much more that we are not even aware of. Much more that we are not even aware of. I mean, just one day you're in a very low mood and you try to analyze that, why am I feeling low today? There could be 100 reasons that you could list out, isn't it? It could be some hormonal imbalance. I might be, going through menopause or PMSing. It could be some astrological combination that now the Rahu has moved here and it is impacting your vibration. So you're going through a low thing. It could just be that I've had an argument. It could just be like some post-COVID depression. Anything. It can be so many things. It could just be I've got caught in a past memory, or I had a bad dream, I couldn't sleep at night, I heard some news. It could be so many things, and each one of us here can give us a new reason, isn't it? Each one of us here can give us a new reason. So we can't really put it down to just 1, 2, 3 things. That's being unfair. And actually, we are only able to see again very few things. It's a bigger divine plan. It's a bigger divine plan, and it's impossible to see it. It's impossible to see it. And the more we resist it, the more suffering it creates, isn't it? So, and the resistance comes from what? Like you asked, Vinita, the resistance comes from wanting to know that what is causing this? Why is this happening? Isn't it? It's like, I want to know, why is this happening? The moment I know why it is happening, I'll be very peaceful. I was such a person who would always question it because I had a very logical and an analytical mind. And it was like, if I just know why this is happening in my life, and I used to ask my teacher all the time, Rohini, just tell me why this is happening, then I'll be peaceful. But those whys were very small band-aids, because then the moment you get satisfied with that, now supposing one says that, okay, it's a full moon, so that's why you're feeling low. Okay, you're satisfied for a day or two. In 3 days, 4 days time, again, you're feeling low, but now there's no full moon. So now again, you want to know why. Then something else will come up. Then there'll be another reason. There'll be another reason. So like I always say, it's like a bottomless pit. You will never, ever come to know why it is happening. So totally stop that. And actually, the moment you step back and you don't question this divine order, it becomes very peaceful. It really becomes very peaceful. Even a simple thing, somebody has fallen sick. Okay, somebody has fallen sick. They've been detected with a terminal illness. You'll go to an astrologer. He will say, this is like what is there in your Janam Patri, and this is what your stars are like that. So it's going to be a very tough time. We don't know what lies ahead. Be prepared for everything, so this, because of these astrological combinations at this time in your life, you're going through this. So these are the upayas that you should do. That's one. You go to the doctor, of course, he'll give you the full physiology of your body and why this has been created. You go to a healer, they'll give you their own things. So, this was a past life issue. You have something suppressed. Therapist will say, these are the emotions that you have been suppressing. That's why it has been manifested. Somebody will say, these are your lifestyle. You lived such an unhealthy life. You were always eating things which you were not supposed to eat. You were smoking, you were drinking. So that is why, endlessly you can go on, isn't it? Endlessly you can go on. Is it humanly possible to fix all these things? And they may be, all of them may be true and none of them may be true. So they're only things to pacify you for the moment. The sooner we understand this, the easier life is going to be. That plan has not been chalked out by us. It is just what is. Just look at it, face it in that way. And as I always say, pray for the strength to deal with it and just leave the rest. Just leave the rest. Feel all the emotions that you feel. Don't suppress any emotions. You're human. You're bound to feel them. Experience them. Don't suppress them. Allow life to take you as it is. And you see how much at ease you are, even in the midst of a crisis. Don't beat yourself up by saying that, why is this happening? This is not fair. You'll keep struggling life, your whole life and lifetimes, but you won't be at peace. The moment you step back, okay, so now I have this particular disease, I need to go through whatever treatment for the next 6 months. Okay, it is what it is, and it is very torturous, it is suffering, but God give me the strength to go through it. Doesn't it instantly bring your energy to a little stability? And then whatever medicines you're taking, they have a greater impact. Whatever treatment you're taking, life seems to be smoother. People around you are, are at ease, rather than you feeling that, no, I'm really suffering and this is not fair. Then it's like a fight all the time, and it's only coming from the ego mind. So look at all of it in a very divine way. The universe prepares you however it needs to prepare you. And it will take you to that, if it has put you to that, it has the plan to take you out also. That order of how you need to step out of it, how many days you need to go through it, is all defined by a higher plan. Don't question it, don't struggle with it. And that does not make you feel like you're a failure. Don't feel that if you're not questioning it, you've become a failure. That's not true. That's really not true. It just is, actually, it's empowering you. It's empowering you because it's giving you the strength to go through the most challenging sort of time in your life, isn't it? And the more we understand this, and the more we use these opportunities to empower ourselves, I know it's easier said than done, but the more we use these opportunities to empower ourselves, or we pray that, we feel it gives us that strength, or the whatever we need to know, or whatever, whatever is meant to be in this, the more easier it is to deal with it, and the more easier it is to get out of it.
True.
Yeah. Anyone has any thoughts on this?
Hear it.
Pardon?
I said, I think I really, really needed to hear it. Sometimes it's such a call from the heart that becomes like a personal dialogue,
Yeah. So let's hear how others feel about it. Anyone has any thoughts? I mean, you're most welcome to ask, contradict, express your ideas. If you actually open up your whole life story and you look at so many things in your life, you will understand that how these things have been planned out. But you have to be in a very neutral space to understand that. Usually our mind takes us, or we get into a little victimized or a biased situation, isn't it? Which is also natural. You don't need to blame yourself or sabotage yourself, but this is also absolutely natural. But when you open up that thing and you see, wow, how beautifully these things have been weaved together, even the people who come in your life, when they come in your life, how they come in your life, all these things, when you really analyze them, you'll see that there is a bigger plan, a bigger picture, isn't it? We are only looking at things from a very limited lens, but if you look at it from a higher perspective, you're able to see so many other things, and they start falling in place. It's like the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle of your life are all around, but one by one, when you put it all together, in any puzzle that you might be saying, you'll be amazed to see that there's 100 pieces. How can I make this figure out of it? But you start with one, second, third, and before you know it, you've completed it, isn't it? So that's how our life feels. It's like those pieces of the jigsaw puzzle which are all scattered, and I just don't know how to put it together. I can see the perfect image that I want. I can see the life that I want, but it's just not coming together. But when you start, slowly coming into acceptance and see, okay, this fits in here, this fits in here, it forms that beautiful life that you have. And it is beautiful. I mean, each one of you can look at it. There are so many things to be in gratitude. I feel there are always more things to be in gratitude for as compared to the challenges that we have. And I always say that, if we are as many people here in the group, and I would say, okay, let's hear what has been your biggest challenge. So each one will open up their Pandora box and everyone will say, my challenge is bigger than yours. I am struggling more than you. Because that's how we feel, because we personalize everything. But it's not just a personal thing, it's a much, much bigger plan. It's a much, much bigger plan. So whenever you catch yourself saying, oh, why is this not happening? Life is going by, or I'm losing out on time. These are only things relative to where you are. But that's really not true. That's really not true. Because the timing is not ours. It's all a divine plan. We feel, oh, I'm losing out on time. But I mean, who knows about the time? It is going to happen in divine timing. So align your energy to be in focus or in line with that divine timing. If we struggle that, no, this has to be according to my plan, this has to be according to my timing, then we've lost the battle. We actually lost the battle.
Recently, I read a very nice quote about relationship. It said that, some people whom you want them to be in your life, they actually turn out to be just a chapter in your life, and, your life moves on. So it's so true that people come, they teach us something, and we can't hold on to them. We can't understand
Absolutely.
the trajectory of their
Absolutely.
life. Just moves on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody for that matter, even it's not just people in your close relationships, even distant people, even the people who come to, serve you in your homes, who help you, your staff, your maids, your everybody comes in that way to give you some lesson or some play some chapter, some role in your life. And you'll really be amazed. And we sometimes don't realize, but even when we are growing on the spiritual path, like I really use this in my life, when I'm getting very irritated with my staff or with my maids, it's like, I tell the children, the moment the children get snappy, I said, I mean, see, they're working for you. They can only think to that level. But sometimes when I get also irritated, it's really a lesson for me to understand that it's okay. You have to tell yourself the same thing and develop that patience within you. Really develop that patience within you. And in fact, this is just going to take me back to something that you said before, which slipped my mind at that time. The thought about deserving. You mentioned deserving, Vinita. So a lot of us feel the deserving also, like everything else in your life, can come from two different spaces. One can be from a very strong egoic space. Oh, I really deserve this. I've worked so hard. I really need to get this. I fully deserve this. And why is the universe not giving it to me? It comes from a very deep space of arrogance, right? But internally, your self-esteem is very, very low. You don't really feel good about yourself. You're just speaking in a very, how you put yourself out. There's a very subtle difference, or maybe a deeper difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. So just to put yourself out in that way, you say that, okay, I fully deserve this. But inside you're feeling like horrible about yourself, isn't it? But when you really come from a deeper space, you're not the person to understand what you deserve and what you don't deserve. I mean, even the Gita teaches us this, that you just do your karmas. Don't think of what you're going to receive or not receive. Isn't it? That's not your business. And the sooner we understand that, and now in spirituality, in these modalities and all the work that we are doing, what is it that we are talking about? Enjoy every moment. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it to the fullest. Isn't it? Be mindful. Even if you're having a cup of tea, don't have it just like that. Be mindful about each sip. Have the flavor in your mouth. Feel the heat of the tea in your mouth. Walk carefully. Take each step. Feel the movement. So live each moment fully. Isn't it? Live each moment fully is really what we are telling ourselves. So that's really getting more quality out of everything that is there in our lives right now. Because it is going to be the way it is. Isn't it? And we plan that, oh, my life should have been like this. I finished this, now I finished school, now I need to go into college, and I need to go into this college, or I need to be doing this, but life takes you somewhere else or throws you somewhere else, because those shoulds are only plans that you have made. It's a human mind. It's not the divine will. And the divine will is perfect, not the human mind. So many times we push through these things and we keep saying, oh God, this must happen, must happen, must happen. Then God says, okay, this is not in the divine plan, or this is how it is, give it to the person. But then it doesn't work out. And we say, I made such a big mistake by doing this, isn't it? But actually that is the perfect plan, because you have to learn through that mistake. Nobody could teach you. The universe kept telling you, just move back. This is not in your plan. This is not in your plan. But you put all your efforts. You pray, you do this, you do that. No, God, this is all that I need. And you go on. In fact, so many times we even pray, and we pray on our conditions. I wish I get admission in this university, in this particular year, in this particular course. So we define it so deeply, and then God says, okay, I'm trying to tell this person, this is not in your favor, but you are going on and on. Okay, so I'll give it to you. And then you fail, or whatever, you realize that, no, this is not meant for me. But then you pick yourself up from there and you go ahead, isn't it? That is also a part of the divine plan. If you don't get it, then you say, God is not fair. I didn't get it. And then 10 years later, you say, oh, that was so nice. I didn't succeed in that. Otherwise, now I really realize that was not the field I was meant to be in. Or you pray and you beg and you really do everything possible, and God says, okay, let's give it to her. She's really, really asking for it. And then you say, oh gosh, what have I put myself in? Isn't it? That's how our mind is. When you choose to go left, the mind will show you all the positives of the right. You choose to go right, instantly the mind will say, but this would have been better on the left. So identify this behavior of the mind and don't get caught in it. Identify this, because this is just to actually make you understand that, go deeper and just see what suits you, what feels more in alignment. Will I really benefit going there, or is it just that I want to prove myself, or give myself that false identity? Somebody is asking something. So, Srishti, could you just
पूरे दिन के बर्तन
mute everybody?
2:30 बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा. कल दिन देख लो, नहीं अच्छा लगेगा तो देख लो.
Yeah. Have you muted me also? No, it's fine. This is also in divine order. This is also in divine order. See, now what can you do? You can suddenly panic. Oh my God, this recording is going to go on YouTube. Somebody has spoken in between and blah, 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 blah. But it's okay. I mean, nobody is doing anything intentionally. It's fine. We all make these mistakes. Right? And you accept it as that. It won't even be noticed. Isn't it? And I don't know if once, like, I think I've quoted it here. Divya, I don't know if Divya is here. She asked me that, there's so much noise in your background, because I live in a house where the street is always, there are dogs barking, there are children playing, there are, tractors moving. So she says, I just noticed that when you're doing a session, you just don't get distracted by that. You just don't get distracted. And that's really telling you about how you live your life, because all these road rollers and these dogs barking and children shouting goes on in all our lives, doesn't it? But we don't get distracted by it. Or I feel, oh my God, I have to wait till the person is silent and then I'll, answer this question or whatever. But no, it's just a noise in the background. You don't need to be engaging in it, and you won't feel it also. You won't feel it also. It won't disturb you at all. In fact, when we started these Zoom calls, I used to always, tell the guards in our lane that just when I do my Reiki from 7:30 to 8:30, make sure that there are no dogs around or anybody who's passing, just tell them to go silently. But I realized that actually it's really not, it's just my mind that wants it to be. Our focus is on what we are speaking. In fact, even today morning, while we were doing a seminar, a Reiki seminar, it was because of, Saturday, Sunday, all the vendors are allowed to come into the into the roads in the colony. And a lot of times when you hear the recordings, you'll see the kabadi wala shouting or the sabji wala shouting in between. It's okay. It is just how it's meant to be. So why do we have to camouflage these things? I know I've gone a little off topic, but I'm just like, I don't know, something just flowed in that way. So it's all in divine order. Srishti or Tanvi, you were asking something.
Yeah, Auntie, I'm so sorry for that little disturbance that came in between when we unmuted.
It's no disturbance at all.
So, Auntie, I have a question. So when the situation is little rough, we
Mhm.
always try to give in our best to either control the situation or be out of it. But then
Yeah.
we either land up, succeeding or then failing. And then how can we question, divine that God, you did this, or I couldn't do my best to save myself? Then how to differentiate between the two phases? I mean, either we blame God or we blame ourselves.
Yeah, so you are God. Yeah, actually, what you're asking is, how we've all grown to this level. Even what I'm speaking today comes from this basic understanding that you have to really understand that you are not doing anything in that way. You are being made to do. And if you could do that better, when you said you did not do your best, if you could have done better, would you not have done better? Again, I'm giving you that old mundane example that I give in all my talks a lot of times, that a student who's going to give an exam secures 60 on 100, right? And the parents say, yeah, but he could do better. He would have done better, because he knew all the answers. He could have got 80%. But that 60% is the 100% that the child could do in those 2 hours of the examination, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which child would not want 80% or 100%? You would really have to be in a dark, dense space where you feel, I don't want to do anything. I remember when my daughter, I was, they were shifting schools, and I took her to another school, and I told her, you'll give this entrance exam. She was so petrified. She was in class 5, and she said that I'm not going to write anything in the answer paper because I don't want to leave the school. All my friends are in this school. Why are you putting me in another school? So she said, I'll just leave my paper blank. I'm not going to write anything. So of course, I was sitting outside while she was giving my exam, and I was doing Reiki, and I was praying that, she writes whatever. And of course, she got the admission. But I'm just trying to say that even when you think that way, you still do your best, isn't it? Nobody wants to fail. Does anyone here want to fail in anything that they're doing? We don't want to, right? But at that moment, the so-called failure is only, a gauge or something that you are sort of looking at because you've set a particular parameter for yourself. I should get admission, only then it will be successful.
Yeah.
I should have 100 people on the talk, only then my talk will be successful. But that's not true. Those are only things in our mind. And in fact, we ruin what we are doing only because we are focusing on the end result and not on each step. Just take it one step at a time and enjoy that step. There is nothing like failure. In my dictionary, there is nothing like failure. It's again, if you don't experience the so-called failure or the so-called lows, how will you know about the highs? Will you ever enjoy the high?
No, we will not be able to relish it. I mean, yeah.
You will not even be able to identify it. You will not even be able to identify it because that is just something, this is how just it's meant to be. But when you go down and you jump up, then you feel so good, don't you?
Yes.
So coming back to your question, Srishti, you have to understand that when you do something and you feel that I could have done better, if you could have done better, the universe would have put that thought, that wisdom, that knowledge at that point in your mind. But it was meant to be only at that level. And that is your 100%. You make all these beautiful posters for us, all these posters. Srishti here, she makes these, and Tanvi, both of them, put them up so beautifully. If every time you make a poster, which, if there's anything that I feel is a miss, I tell you, otherwise 99% I tell you it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So many times, I'm sure you can make them better. I'm sure there are others where you've not made them, which may not have matched up to that level. But what you have done is your 100%, isn't it? Aren't you putting in your 100% at that time?
Yes.
Right? So how can you say that you are not doing your best? And next time you might say, yeah, but I could have done this better here. So do it next time. But at that time, you could only do that much. That was the perfect for that time. And when you start accepting that and living with that, it just makes it so perfect, doesn't it?
Yeah, getting that.
Yeah. So just take everything in that way. Just take everything in that way and look at it in that way. Then you're very satisfied with what you're doing. And the onus, it's not about blaming God. You can't, that's how we all start, because when things are going out of control, we don't know whom to blame.
Yeah.
And that time we understand that God has given us this, so we can blame God that why have you done this? But when we get something good, then we don't question God, why have you done this? We may say, okay, thank you, God, but we don't say that, why have you done this?
Yeah,
it's not fair. I shouldn't have got all this, isn't it?
Mhm.
right? So that those parameters are not something that you can determine. So know that if that time, you are doing so much or you're doing whatever is perfect for that, for you.
Mm.
You don't have to, you don't have to beat yourself up.
Mm.
And sometimes you feel I really need to do more. Then you'll just pray or you'll get some wisdom. Something will happen that you'll be pushed on a different course. And that too is the plan, that you have to move and push and ask. Only then you'll get something more, because you need to speak up for yourself or whatever. I'm just giving you a random
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, auntie, it truly makes sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Vinita, you were asking something.
Yeah, can I share something?
Yes, Vinita, please go ahead.
So I was hearing your thing on the divine order. Everything happens in divine timing and divine order. So I was just reflecting that, off late I have been kind of, feeling sad and questioning that, I was working when my child was small and I had so many responsibilities. So I was working 9 to, I mean, maybe night ke 9 baj jate the, 10 baj jate the. And I struggled, and now when my child has gone to college and the responsibilities are quite settled, I have a full-time maid who takes care of things and everything. But now, because of this COVID thing, my travel and event business has gone for a toss. Since the last, and I actually don't have anything much as far as professionally. So I keep questioning, जब मेरे पास इतना काम था घर पे, and then I had to work full time professionally, and now I have all the time and I don't have that work. So this, when I heard you speaking this, so I'm reflecting that probably everything is in divine order and there is something in store for me. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm sure if all of us like dissect our lives, we'll see certain things. It's so good that it didn't happen, because otherwise I would not have been able to, look into this aspect. I wouldn't have been able to do this. We've heard so many of these stories, isn't it? Rohini, you were asking a question? I think someone raised their hands.
It was just by mistake that I raised it.
Okay. Thank you. So any other reflections, any other thoughts? Whenever you feel yourself feeling low, not in a good space, don't try to change that. Don't push to change that. In fact, just go inwards and reflect on it and just say that, okay, this too has been given to me by the divine. I don't know why this is happening. I can't understand. So instead of putting energy on that or struggling to know why, how, just step back and just come into the space, ask for the strength, and tell yourself the statement. It's a wonderful mantra. All is in perfect divine order. And your mind will say, what rubbish, what nonsense. This is not how I thought my life would be. But actually, the moment you start, the more you start believing this, you'll see how true it will start becoming for you. It will really start becoming your truth. I ask all of you, like supposing, again, this is a wonderful question that I always like to ask people. So I'm 56 years and each one of you take your age. And if I ask you, okay, so you're 56 years now, or you're 40, 50, 70, whatever you are. If the past 56 years of your life, you had the remote control, to make the life that you wanted to make it, would your life look like how it is now? Meaning, if you had the remote control of your life for as many years as you have lived, do you think that your life would look like how it is looking today? Just a yes or no. Anybody who says a yes, I would like to hear from them. We always say no. My life would have been very different. I would have been living in Switzerland, or I would have had a school. I would have been doing this. I would be a particular size. I would be living in a mansion, or I would be working in this. I would be owning that car. I mean, everything, if that remote control was in our hands. So really understand that you have not been living your life on your own terms. Something is making and building this whole life plan for you. So give the remote control back. Stop struggling to fix things and change the switch it from here to there. Just give it back to the divine who's actually, handling everything. It's such a vast, huge plan. We can never understand it. Never. So why are we struggling to do that? Let's enjoy this life with whatever we have. Make the best of it. And stop focusing on these small, small things that just actually take away joy from life. Oh, this person said this to me. I'm like, my mood is spoiled whole day and I'm ruining one whole day of your life. But the person just said it for whatever reasons, or maybe having a full valid reason. But I'm not allowing that energy to come into me because my life is very precious. I'm not going to waste even a minute, forget about a day. Maybe I just need to be silent today. Maybe I just need to step back today. And that's fine. Let me be silent. Let me just enjoy the rain. Let me just sit on my swing. Let me not engage to get caught in those stories again and again. So if you really have that motto in your heart, that I'm going to enjoy every moment of this precious, beautiful life that the universe has given me, that God has given me, you'll see how beautiful life will become. Because it really is beautiful. And yes, there are struggles, there are challenges, there is suffering, there is pain, there is, sickness, illness, financial instabilities, health issues, relationship issues. But that's all just a drama happening. Step back and watch it all and ask for the strength. Because this is happening in all of us. Any one person who says, I have no issue, no health issue, no relationship issue, no financial issue, nothing. I wouldn't say that. We're not human if we say that. But don't let those things overtake you to such a great extent that you lose out on anything in your life. Because it's too precious. It's really precious. I mean, I always quote this. I think every week you hear this. The COVID has really taught us that, these 2 years of COVID have really, what plans? I mean, just imagine, I was all set to fly to London and then to the US. My ticket had been booked in May of 2020. 2 months I was out. I mean, I'm just quoting one. People had plans to get married. They had plans to travel. Somebody had graduation. Somebody had to have a child. Everything. So many things were planned. They all went for a toss because the divine plan was something else. And so many of us said, yeah, it was so perfect. It pushed so many of us towards really understanding life, understanding spirituality, understanding the truth in relationships. So many things, isn't it? So many things we learned. Or we could just be saying, oh my God, this life has been ruined because I had plans to travel. Now what? I've lost all my money on my ticket. It was hard-earned money. That is not fair. I need to travel. How am I going to sustain? Or somebody had to get married. Now what is going to happen? It will just happen at the time that it's meant to happen. Sorry. So I'm just saying, so the universe put so many of us out. We connected through this beautiful, platform of Zoom, and how we've not met each other, most of us, but how close, how bonded, how, how close we feel to each other, and how much we have grown on the path of truth, isn't it? Sorry, Vinita, please go ahead.
So I was just thinking while you were talking about, just giving back the remote control to the divine and the source. All of us happen. It gave me a feeling of freedom. I mean, when you it just puts your life into a steering where you're actually sitting back and relaxed, and there is somebody else on the steering wheel.
It's the cruise button has been pressed, no?
Yeah.
You fix a speed and press the cruise button. Life is just taking you where you need to go, isn't it?
Just change the energy, while you're talking.
Absolutely. And it's so liberating. It is very true because it is very liberating. It is so liberating. You just flow along. It's like, again, if you're trying to swim upwards, there's so much resistance. But if you just step back and say, okay, just life take me where I'm meant to go, you just flow with it, don't you? It's so much easier, isn't it? And that's really what is liberation. It's so freeing because I'm not in control. Yeah, people can use it in a very different way that, yeah, I'm doing this, something is making me do it, I'm not doing it. But that's again coming from an ego mind. If you're really coming from the heart, you'll honor everything in your life. So you become so mindful. Even when you're going for a walk and there's an ant in front of you, you don't feel like putting your foot on that ant. You feel like just walking by the side, isn't it? Otherwise, mindlessly we walk and we are crushing flowers and crushing these ants and just moving on. Everything you cherish so much. So Lakshna here has been writing beautiful things on our other group in the morning. I mean, she talks about nature, how we learned so much. I mean, it's opened up a whole different life for so many of us. Same life. We could be cribbing about the fact, well, I haven't been able to travel, I haven't been able to meet my children, I haven't been able to do this, do that, or like just connect to what is. It just opens up your heart so beautifully, just so beautifully. And you see that how much value there is in everything that is there around, isn't it? There is so much gratitude, there is so much, I mean, even the fact that we are all alive, we are healthy, we are here, we are vaccinated. I mean, it's a blessing in today's time. Just look at the wave of the second wave, what it did to people, isn't it?
Absolutely, Sujata. Absolutely. I think gratitude was the thing that I really learned. I mean, I used to throw the word around gratitude and gratefulness earlier. Yeah. And maybe, yes, a little bit I applied it also. But these 2 years have been such a great learning, I can't tell you. And so much of that gratitude goes to you and to Rohini, honestly speaking. You've led me a long, long way holding my hand. And I can't thank you both enough. God bless.
Actually, all of us have done that. We've really held each other. Like we say, we walked each other home. We had a talk on that also. We're all walking each other home. So like Vinita said, when certain relationships come in your life, they are for your growth. They are to teach you certain lessons in your life. And that's really walking yourself home, isn't it? Isn't it? Because where are you moving towards? Where is home? Home is not outside. Home is really inside, going inside and really connecting to that deep energy within. This is home. This is where you are. The truth, the divine, the divinity within you. We're all one. Every scripture, every religion, every sacred book points to that one. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, whatever, they all point to the one universal source which is within all of us. We're all fragments of that one universe, isn't it? Isn't that true? So when we are all walking each other home, whether it's Sulakshna saying that, there's gratitude and we have shown her, she has shown us so much too. And actually, even when I mean, not just in lockdown, but even before, when I used to go in for a session or somebody would come to me, I would always pray in my heart before connecting that whatever I need to learn out of this session, God just help me to understand that, because there's a learning in every interaction. There's a learning in every interaction. You just need to have the eye for that. You just need to be open to that and not think, yeah, here I'm the healer, I'm the teacher, so what I'm saying is only true. No, the other person who's going through what he or she is going through is actually, that is reality for them. So put yourself in their shoes and then see what they're trying to tell you. And there'll be so much learning for you in that way. You'll see firstly, how blessed am I that I'm not in the midst of this crisis. And then you'll see how, life presents itself at different times in different situations. And all those situations are actually like, they're like just tailor-made for you. Every situation in your life, especially the challenging situations in your life, are really for you, for tailor-made for you. Even when you say that, oh gosh, there's been a tragedy in my house, there's an accident, or you've lost a loved one, it's only because you are feeling it and taking it personally. If you look at it in the bigger plan, that's not true. You had chosen to move ahead in a particular way, and all these people were there to bring in resistances or whatever, and now if they've moved on, it's only to open your path ahead. I truly, truly believe in that. Manisha, let's hear your wise words.
Hi, Sujata, so when we accept this, that everything is in divine order, right?
Yeah.
But then in many scriptures and many wise people say that life is your responsibility. What you make out of life, it becomes that. So when we accept that everything is in divine order, it means the life we are having in present, that is not our responsibility?
No, it is your, actually, I don't say it is your responsibility because life is just happening. There are times when we make choices, but those choices, this is according to my knowledge and my wisdom up to now, those choices are also actually predetermined. They're predestined. And we feel that we are making the choice, but we are not actually making the choice. A lot of times now, and this is something which I have really started believing recently, that, you know, today also somebody was saying that, what if I have to take a decision? What will I do then? So I just told them, you know, just trust that the decision will be made. People tell me, okay, please take out a tarot card and tell me, should I follow path A or path B? Yes, we gauge the energy. And I say, yeah, maybe, you know, you should follow this particular path, take path A. But they somehow something makes them go on path B. I'll tell you this because recently a lady asked me this, we were working with her son and he had to choose a particular university. So she said that he has to either go to the East Coast or the West Coast. They were deciding some universities in the US. And so whatever I did with my clearing and my pendulum, I told her that it's, you know, the energy of the East Coast aligns more with his energy right now, whichever university it was. I'm very bad at all this geography, so I'm not taking names. So I said, choose the college on the East Coast because that aligns with him more. And then after a few days, she said that somehow we've decided to go with the college on the West. So is it going to be a wrong decision? I said, no, if you've already decided and that is the decision that has come through, just trust that decision. So there's not a wrong decision. Some force told me to choose the college on the East, but some force made them choose the college on the West. Now it's contradictory if you look at it in this way, but I fully trust that this is how it is meant to be. It's not a wrong decision. It is just the decisions get made. Otherwise, if she's asking me, she's putting faith in the work that we do, why would she choose a college in the West? But there's a higher force which made her do that, or made the child choose the college in the West. And she didn't say that, you know, I tested or I told my child that, no, you have to go to a college in the East. The University of the West got chosen, and it actually got chosen. And let's see how life unfolds, but it's not a mistake. I don't look at it as a mistake. It's not that I have given a wrong decision. I have given a decision as to whatever was channeled to me. Now, let us see. I don't say, I would never discourage the child that you haven't followed what I said, so you're not going to be successful. No, I wish the child absolutely full success, and I'm sure there will be success also. But what made me say the East and what made me choose the West? Maybe he can say that, yeah, this course was more in alignment with what I want to do in life, or whatever this university was more reputed. I don't know, and I don't want to know. But I fully trust that if you have made that choice, or the choice has been made, just trust that, just follow that, because that is the perfect choice. Maybe you have to learn some lessons out of this. I don't know what happened there, but this just got decided and it's fine. You don't have to, you know, beat anybody up for that. And let's see how life unfolds for him. I have full trust in it, total trust in it. So when you come to those things in life, when you're going through this, just as Srishti was asking, just as you are asking, Manisha, there are just these times when we don't understand because we are on the bridge, you know, we are just at the edge of the tip of the iceberg, if we may say. We might slip back or we might just go over. So just hold on at that time when you're not able to understand. And then just come into a space and say, okay, let the choice be made. And you'll see that the choice will be made. The choice will always be made. But just remember what I said, that the moment you choose the West, you'll see all the positives of the East. The moment you choose the East, you'll see all the negatives of the East and the positives of the West. The mind will bring those up. But just know that, okay, the universe has made me change this. If tomorrow I need to change from East to West, that too will happen. Who knows? But as of now, this is what is happening, and it is in perfect divine order. There's absolutely no doubt in that. Absolutely no doubt. It brings you into a more, like Vinita said, liberating space. And then you're able to deal with that situation in a much better way. Have I answered your question, Manisha? Otherwise,
yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Because see, the answer is going to be the same this way or that way. Because if you're believing in something, then however things are manifesting, It's for you to really align yourself to that. Till the time we keep resisting, it becomes a fight, it becomes a war. The moment we align ourselves, and we even say, I don't know how to align myself. I don't know how to align myself. Just be like that little child and ask for whatever it is that you want. I don't understand this divine order. How is it in divine order? And especially when we see things which are like really touching your heart, when you see like small children, people losing small children, or certain things which you just cannot understand, that why would God do this? Why would God do this? But we can't question these things, because there's so much to life than just these few things that we are sort of highlighting, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. So just hang in there, just hold in there, just ask for the strength, reach out to all of us. We are all walking each other home. Reach out to somebody who can make you understand, or just help you, support you for that time. That's all that you need. It's passing. All the challenges are passing. Nothing is the ultimate. There's only one universal ultimate truth. And the sooner we understand that, the better our life becomes. So just know, keep repeating when you're feeling low, everything is in perfect divine order. Everything is in perfect divine order. And that is absolutely what it is. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sujata ji.
Thank you, Aunty. Thank you so
I
much.
just want to
Thank you
say
so much.
that whatever be the divine order, you have actually saved me in more ways than I can probably ever express. And both you and Gilles and Rohini ji.
So all the perfect divine order. The order comes from
Whatever be
there.
the case, but I know it is the divine
Yeah,
order,
we're
but
only
you
channels
have
doing
saved
what
me,
we need to.
especially this week. I didn't know how or what. The gift you've given me today is, I don't know what to say, except that it's
Okay,
divine order,
we're all-
yes. But
we're all
gratitude,
walking.
so much gratitude, virtual hug, and like, may you always be so beautifully happy, and everything that you desire in divine order, may it be there for you. Thank you.
It is fully there. I fully believe and trust that. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Love you all. Thank you for
Thank
being
Thank
here.
you, Sujata. Love you
Thank you for
much.
being part of
Thank
this
you so
journey.
much.
So just remember
God
now that
bless
we've
you,
changed our
Sujata.
time to 7 o'clock rather than 7:30. So 7 to 8, even the Reiki sessions that we'll have. So do join in. We had a wonderful Reiki session today morning. This Thursday, I decided that next Thursday, we're going to do a full body Reiki. So just join in and revise and repeat, because all those who joined in were so much in gratitude. So those who know Reiki, please come in, do your full body Reiki. It really lifts you up. Those of you who are new, just come and receive. Don't miss these sessions that we offer, here. They really help you to, they're all in perfect divine order. Thank you. Love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Love you,
much.
love
Thank
you,
you.
love you, gratitude.
Thank you. Thank you.